Oh my goodness, this is gnarly. No part of this looks like it's good. I think everything in here is just rusted to pieces. There are flecks of rust and just gunk everywhere. The fact that you can just see chunks of like debris and rust inside here is a very bad sign. I think this gun is probably not serviceable. Hey guys, Josh here with MDT. In front of me is sitting this super duper rusted SKS rifle that we're busy trying to restore.
We are MDT. We design, test, and create precision rifle chassis and accessories to help you shoot better.
So we've left this thing in a salt bath for about a week, taking it in and out, just leaving it in a very humid room, just trying to induce as much rust as possible. So we are here now with a very rusty, very jammed up, very stuck rifle. There's no chance this gun would actually fire right now. It is still functional, but I don't think it would actually chamber around. I can't show you inside the bore, but we're about to go look inside there with a bore scope, and it's not in good shape. So first little bit we're looking at here is the chamber. There's just pitted metal and rust spots kind of all over. What we should be seeing right now is pretty distinct cut lands and grooves. But as you can kind of see, it's, well, A, there's a lot of rust, and B, nothing is very well cut. If I had a gun that looked like this, I think I would just throw the barrel away. There you go. That's good. This is what I imagine like the inside of people's ears look like. It's pretty gnarly. I am not sure we can save the bore of this gun, but we'll find out. The plan is that we're going to take some of the new MDT Nano Guard product, and we're going to try to essentially restore this gun to a point where A, it'll shoot again, and B, try and get some results out of it and actually get it to shoot accurate. So the first step on pretty much all these components is going to be the heavy duty cleaner. This is going to be just a big degreasing spray. Spray down all the components, try and get as much stuff off of this as we can. The next step is going to be your protectant. This one here is a film-based coating. After everything's been cleaned off and we've got as much out of the gun as possible, the film on this coating is going to be your bare metal porous coating. So this will be step 2 of cleaning all of the components after we've actually got it down basically bare metal. And then the last step is going to be your gun oil, your multi-purpose gun oil. And this is going to be mainly used in the action components. We're not going to put this in the bore, but anything that's going to be sliding and moving and rubbing on each other, this is going to be the final step that we go in, and this will be sort of the secret sauce of making everything function correctly again, other than the chamber and the barrel. So yeah, we'll see how they work. All right, first thing we're gonna do right now is we're gonna go get every part hit with a degreaser and a wire brush and try and get the most of this rust off we can. This one specifically, we're gonna get in there with a bore and actually try and clean out the bore and then the actual gas port as well. But first things first, let's just get a bunch of degreaser going on inside here. Get a bunch down there in the bore. Cool. Come back to that later. Watch this function better than it did before now. These parts are probably the two that are like obviously the most rusty, especially for sliding components. I'm actually not even sure that the firing pin mechanism, I don't know, it does protrude, it does work right now. But they are definitely not having a great time. Honestly, with just this one step alone, I'm pretty impressed by how well this is cleaned up. Like most of the rust is just kind of getting blasted off pretty well with just the degreaser, just the first step. So I'm kind of excited now when we put the step 2 cleaner on it. That's sort of CLP. I wonder how well it's going to, well, it's actually going to cycle and how well it's going to perform. I think this part is fully uncoated, meaning that it's probably going to be the hardest to clean up. So the way you load these things, or the way they were designed to be loaded before the invention of detachable magazines, was this clip of 10 rounds that you would just force through the actual guide there at the top. So one of the other really big benefits of the Nano Guard is when we go to the next step, actually applying a surface treatment to the metal. A lot of gun cleaners, what they do is they just leave surface oil all over the actual components. And that's great when you have them rubbing together, but when the oil starts to actually run off or wear off or collect dust, that's when you start to get more stoppages and more failures. And one of the really cool things about Nano Guard is that it permeates into the metal and it actually leaves a bit of a coating. Even though it might look like two dry surfaces because you've got the Nano Guard on there, and it's permeated into the metal, you still have a pretty lubricious surface that the two things are gliding across. And that's kind of one of the things that makes this a special coating, is that it's not just sitting on the surface between two metals, it's actually into the two metals, which is pretty unique. Okay, that's one more component. Last thing I want to do real quick is get inside the bore of the rifle. So we had a bore scope, we had a look inside there. We know that the chamber and then the muzzle end are both pretty bad. I'm going to get a cleaning rod and we're actually just going to push one through. In this case, it'll probably push in through from the back. We'll just fix it up like it was a bolt action rifle and use the Nano Guard, clean it as best we can. Okay. It's not what you want to see coming out of your bore. What I'm going to do right now is just push a clean patch through, if it'll go. And we'll see how much rust and carbon stuff is going to come out. Okay, so pretty dirty, pretty like brown and black all around. This bore is going to take quite a bit of effort, I think, to get fully clean. Okay, it's getting cleaner. All right, so this is the throat and now the actual bore that we started to scrub. It's not as bad as it was. We're getting it down to that bare metal. Definitely pretty pitted. But look at that, you can actually make out the lands and grooves now. What we might have to do with this barrel is leave it with some cleaner sitting in it overnight and then come back to it and scrub it a whole bunch more. See if we can break up some of this really baked in rust that's actually in the bore itself. Now the problem with bore scopes as well is that sometimes you don't want to see down here. Sometimes it just makes you overthink. But in this case, we really want to see how much of the rust we can get back out. Okay, let's do that. Let's leave some cleaning solution in the bore overnight. Let's let it soak in there. Try and break up as much of this rust as we can. I might actually push a patch in there and plug it, and then fully fill it up with the heavy duty cleaner, and then just see if we can get it to soak in as much as possible. All right, we're here at day 2 of cleaning this SKS now. We've let it sit for about 24 hours with the heavy duty cleaner in the actual bore. It's been plugged on both ends. I think most of it is sort of evaporated out now and everything, but we've just kind of left it. We're gonna push a couple patches through the bore, try and just get the rest of the stuff out of there. Not bad. That's the first time we've put a patch through it and like muddy brown water hasn't come out, so it's pretty good. Next steps on this are going to be using the actual protectant, the CLP, spraying down everything, getting the last of the little bits of rust off here that we can, protecting all the metal, making sure that we don't incur any further surface rust, reassembling everything, using the actual lube to get the action back up and running smooth, which I'm really excited to see how everything kind of actually fits back together. And then from there, it'll be off to the range just to make sure everything functions and see how it shoots. Good start. Okay, so everything chambers. Looks like it's in battery just fine. All right, let's see if we can hit something at 100 yards. Okay, cycled. Safety's on. Ejected. Got another round in there. Okay, let's keep running. Okay, I'd say she runs. Let's just keep feeding it. That's actually not bad. I mean, not stellar, but this one must have snuck out the bottom, but the other 4, I mean, got some horizontal stringing going on, but it's not actually that bad. Honestly, better than I thought. I don't know what I was expecting, but could have been worse. Terrible accuracy. All 3 products are available on the website right now in 2 sizes. So we've got our heavy duty gun cleaner, which is the first one you saw in this video, going through and doing a lot of the very bulk, big cleaning, degreasing, things like that. We've got our CLP, our protectant, again, available in 2 sizes. That one's gonna be more of your surface treatment and your long-term storage treatment. And then the final product is also our gun oil. And that's really just for your action and any of those sliding and moving components.